You know, like 2 days ago, it was supposed to be like a tropical storm out here. Crystal ball, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? You don't even feel like that thing ever came. And now it is super, super hot. What up? It's your boy, now I'm back with another video. Last week we talked about what needed to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? That's all I had. That's all I gotta say. If you wanna know what I'm talking about, check out video from last week. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe before we get into it. This week, we're going to talk about stocks, finance. We're going to talk about my stock portfolio and how, in a few months, I was able to double my money on a few stocks. Now, I started my journey. I've been investing in the stock market since, I want to say, 2017, maybe 2016, like the end of 2016. I can't remember the exact day. I don't remember. But I've been investing for a couple years off and on. But over those years, I've been learning. But as of last summer, August, I've been taking investing more seriously because I've kind of understood it a lot better. I was investing on the Stash app, but last August I switched over to M1 Finance, and since then I've been putting money in that account. So if the numbers on my stock portfolio are a little low to some of y'all, it's because I restarted investing into the stock market and started taking it more seriously than I've ever taken it last year. So this is from August to June that I've been investing this money. My goal this year for 2020 is at least $10,000 in my stock portfolio. But of course, my goal overall is to be a millionaire before I get too old. You know what I'm saying? To be a millionaire before 30. That's my goal. That's why I grind the way I grind. I do all the things I do. It's because I'm crazy and I want money. Seriously, though, let's get into how I doubled my money in the past couple months with these two stocks. All right, this first stock, March 23rd, 2020. I bought 3/4 of a share. Yes, 3/4 of a share. Not a full share, but 3/4 of a share of iRobot. They make the Roomba, which is those little vacuums that move around the house by itself and all stuff like that. When I bought in on March 23rd, it was at $41 a share. Okay. The reason why I decided to buy into iRobot, I've heard a lot about them. I've seen a lot of videos about Roombas. I've seen video games surrounded by the Roomba. You know what I'm saying? So me looking at the Roomba and just what it does, it reminds me of the Jetsons, the cartoon back in the day that had the flying cars and the robot maid and all stuff like that. Seeing the Roomba reminds me of the Jetsons. It reminds me of the future the Jetsons told us about in the 80s or the 70s or whenever the Jetsons came out. So I feel if the Roomba is a robot that vacuums your house for you, what else can iRobot bring out or produce that can get us closer and closer to where the Jetsons said we would be? We need a little more of these companies that bring us to where the Jetsons said we was going to go, which is why I like why I've invested in Tesla. You know what I'm saying? Because they have the self-driving cars, and you know what I'm saying, they pushing for very futuristic things. Of course, we're gonna all get killed by the robots, but still, it would be nice to live in the world that the Jetsons said that we would be living in. Which I heard a theory on the Jetsons about it actually existing in the same time as the Flintstones, but that's for another time. Recently, I want to say since maybe the corona started, a little bit before what I started doing, it might have been since the year started. What I've been doing is saving my 30%, which if you want to check out how I save my money and how I budget my money, I have another video of that on the channel, check that out. But that 30% that I invest, 30% of my income that I invest, I pile it all into one place, one of my savings accounts. And then at the beginning of every month, I take half of however much I saved and I invest it. I don't invest the whole chunk, I just invest half of it. With me doing that, since March 23rd, I bought an additional 3 shares since I started doing that, since March 23rd. And when I bought in, it was $41 a share. Today, it is at $80.37, with my average share price being $40.99, which means that I've doubled my money in the past, 2.5 months of being invested in iRobot, because the stock went from $41 to $80.37, with my cost basis being $40. which is insane because all I've been doing is just consistently buying in. I've been dollar cost averaging pretty much. So when the stock's going down or when the stock's going up, I'm still putting money in there, which is why the amount that I bought the stock at initially is higher than my cost basis or my average share price that I have now. That with that, my investment, my return on investment for iRobot is 105%, more than doubling my money since March 23rd, which is crazy. I never thought with iRobot that I would do that, but it happened. Second stock that I doubled my money on, April 1st, 2020, I bought 1 1/4 share of Carnival Cruise Line. Carnival Cruise Line before the corona happened was at around $47 a share. Then it dropped when the corona happened down to $11.65. So I wound up buying 1 1/2 share of it. Now the reason why my purchase on my shares are so small is because I don't individually pick a stock and put money in there. What I do is I add a stock. I use M1 Finance. I add a stock to my portfolio and add a percentage of how much money I deposit goes into that, which is why how much I buy, I don't really control how much. I just put money in, and it divides the money I put in by the percentage that I have in my portfolio. So I think that day I put in around $500. So it put money in other stocks and it put that percentage, which I think only did like 10% or something like that. I can't remember. But I put a percentage, and a percentage of that amount of money that I deposited went into Carnival, which bought me $1.25 share. If I had control of it, I'd have put 100 in and bought about 10 shares, but I only bought 1 share. But the reason why I bought into them was that I believe that even though the stock dropped and that the company wasn't making that much money because they pretty much canceled all travel, that eventually, once everything starts to open up slowly, which it is starting to do now, a lot of people who had to sit inside their house for months at a time are going to do whatever it takes to get out the house, to get out the city, you know what I'm saying, and kind of just get away, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people started going crazy being trapped inside their house for long periods of time. So that's why I felt, okay, once everything starts to open up, a lot of people are going to try and start traveling just to get out the house. People are going to go on cruises just to get out the house. People are going to, you know what I'm saying, I don't think it's going to be a instant spike, but I think slowly over time, people are going to, you know, once people start getting their jobs and money rolling in, the amount of travel and stuff is going to start going back to where it was before, because there were some people whose job strictly was to travel, and then there's also other people who just love traveling and get paid to travel and take pictures on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of businesses that thrive off of traveling. So I feel like those businesses, once they start running, is going to go into cruising and stuff like that. And also the people who are just tired of being inside will start taking cruises and taking flights and all the stuff like that. I also noticed that just cruises is very popular, not only with the senior citizens who like to go on cruises, but also middle-aged people in 40s and 50s who like to take cruises with their family and stuff like that. And I've also met a couple people around my age in their early 20s who also like to go on cruises. So it's not age specific. It's, you know, a wide variety of people who just like going on cruises, like taking trips out the country and just exploring the world, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like with that just being having a broad audience, that eventually the cruise is going to go up. And of course, with the stock market being the way it is, it's kind of scary that it's going up this fast, which is how I feel about the other stock, how it's just going up this fast. But also there is an incentive for shareholders who have 100 shares of Carnival. I think they get like a $200 credit, something like that. That's not why I bought in, but I heard about it, which, you know, that'd be cool if I ever want to go on a cruise one day. I have my shares of Carnival Cruise Line that I can do. From my first buy till today in June, I bought an additional 7 shares of Carnival Cruise Line, and since then the stock has went from $11.65 a share to $22.33 a share, putting my return on investment to 121%, making that my best investment ever. That is the highest return I ever got on any stock. I've had last year I was getting 75, 65, you know, 55% returns on my investments in Apple and Facebook and stuff like that. Never ever did I think that I would get over 100%. Those 75, 65 was like just incredible to me, because the average return on investment for the stock investor is 7 to 9% a year. But last year I had around 20% of my overall portfolio in returns, and right now I'm at around almost 50%, 50% all-time return on my money. So it's just crazy how all this is happening right now, especially during these times where the market should be a lot lower than it is. But with me just not caring where everything is at and just consistently putting money in, I feel like it's helped my portfolio a lot better than waiting on the perfect time or investing, holding and waiting, because sometimes you miss out on some big money. But will I keep these stocks? Will I keep Carnival? Will I keep iRobot even after I've double my money? Now, maybe is the question. I'll continue to look and try and see if these stocks are only up because of the Federal Reserve pumping money into them, how long it'll stay at these levels after they stop pumping money into them. You know what I'm saying? I also want to look at how good iRobot is selling and how much booking is going on with Carnival. I want to make sure that these are legit numbers and that the value isn't way too overvalued. With a lot of stocks are overvalued in the stock market right now, but I just want to make sure once this is all over that, okay, is this company really going to continue? When I invest in a company, I'm looking 3 to 5 years, maybe even more, on just keeping them there, keep funding them, and keep making money on them. But if I feel like the stock is at a point that it will never reach again, and if the stock doesn't have dividends, what's the point of me keeping it if, okay, it's already peaked, they're not going to give me dividends or anything like that, so I'm going to sell out, take profits, and just spread it across my portfolio. Which I think I got to check, but I think iRobot and them do give dividends. One of them give dividends. I can't remember which one. But maybe if iRobot hits around $100, I will sell. And if Carnival hits around where it was before the drop, around $45 to $50, I will sell and just take those profits and buy more shares of my other investments, like Hasbro and stuff like that. But that's it for me. I just want to let y'all know about these stocks that I've invested in a few months ago. A lot of just 2-3 months ago that I've doubled my money that fast. This is not an advertisement of me being like, oh, how you can double your money. Like, it's not none of that. Just me letting you know how my stock's been going. And, it's been going pretty good. I'm just watching the market. I don't want to get... The reason why I've been just putting half is because I don't want to put a whole bunch of money in the stocks and then a crash happens. So I'm just putting half of that money in there. That way I have a cushion and I also have money in there. But that's it for me. I'm out. Too sweet.